Good morning, everyone. I have decided today just to do a screen grab for you. It saves me drawing out the graphs on the graph paper because that didn't work very well yesterday, and every time I tried to draw on it, it was moving around all over the place. And with a screen grab, I can zoom in on things and show you things in a little bit more detail. Okay, so today we are looking at straight line graphs. Now we can use straight line graphs to convert between different things very quickly. So for example, here in challenge 1 we've got number of stamps and the cost, and you can model how much the cost will be using the straight line graph, and get onto that. Then for challenge 2 you've got number of parcels and cost, and then for challenge 3 you've got conversions between pounds and dollars. Right, so challenge 1, nice and simple. You can see the pattern in the number of stamps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can work out the cost using that as well, 50, 100, 150, etc, etc, etc. If I zoom in on the graph here, and I start plotting that on, so 1 is 50, which is there. I'm going to just get a really small point there. And then 2 is 100, which is there. 3 will be 150, which is there. And then from 0, 0, if I plot a straight line, and I can plot that straight up to the top there. So, even without having to work out 4, 5, and 6, and even without having to do 3 as well, you can see here what the cost of a second class stamp will be. So, it asks you to draw the graph, which you can do using a ruler. And then how many second class stamps can you buy for £2.50? So £2.50 is 250 pence, which is here. Like that. So we read across to here, and then we read down to here. So how many can we buy? Well, we can buy 5. And then if we can buy 5 for £2.50, in the ratio, if we think of the ratio of what £2.50 is to £5, it's a 1 to 2 ratio. So how many can you buy for £5? Well, it can be double what you'd get for £2.50. Not too tricky there. I think drawing the graph will probably be the hardest part there. On to challenge 2 then. So very similar in terms of working out a relationship between small parcels and cost. We've got 6, 12, 18, etc, etc, etc. In fact, if you look carefully on the y-axis here, you don't have to do any calculating whatsoever. Anyway, using 1 centimetre squared paper, draw the graph. So let's draw the line on. So it's 2, 6 and 4, 12, which is there. And then we draw a straight line through all of those using a ruler, obviously. There we go. So find what it costs for 5 small parcels. So number of parcels down here, here's 5. We read up to there, and then we read across to here, where it's going to be halfway between 12 and 18. So we count up, well that's 6, so half of 6 is 3, so 12, 13, 14, 15. £15. 9 small parcels, you do exactly the same, which is there, not too tricky. Then you've got some more questions, and for this you might, for number 4 and number 5, you might want to use some ratio to help you. However, you can continue the graph if that's of any use to you, or you can calculate it. So there's lots of different ways of working out 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then challenge 3, very similar to challenge 1 and challenge 2. So Tom's going on holiday. He bought his dollars at the exchange rate £1 to £1.50 at $1.50. Copy and complete the table. So £20 is going to be 30 dollars. £40, well, we times it by 1, which is 40, then times it by half, which is 20, so that will be 60. And then you can see the pattern and how that works going up. There you go. So using 1 centimetre square paper, copy and complete the line graph. So you can see here, if I zoom in, there we go. So we've got the line that's going up to there, and in theory, if that's plotted in the right place, I should be able to continue the line like that. There we go. And then you can convert these pounds to the nearest dollar. So £140, that's not very nice, it's not on there. So you might want to draw a bigger graph, or you could use the conversion, the ratio. So for £140, it is in a ratio of 1 to 1.5. So we need to multiply 140 by 1.5, which gives us 140 and 70, which is 210.